and iodine isn't just for emergencies. I take it every day. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding and making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our immune support infusion blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
Last week, I was chalking on my own front porch, and one of my daughters informed me that was illegal. They'd been told that at their homeschool academy. All over the news, they arrest people, you see it around the country, for chalking on the street, all part of living in the land of the free, home of the brave. Even though it washes away as protected speech, they arrest folks in downtown Austin for it. And I had to explain to her, I said, honey, this is our front porch. We can do that here. But I think, and I said this before, I think I'm going to go down in front of the Texas Capitol, across the street that's not even state property, and I think I'm going to chalk. Maybe have a chalk party, like promote it for like a month, and like 1,000 people show up, and just chalk all over downtown to like defeat the cops that will literally slam you to the ground if you try to chalk on the ground. Because the crime in this country is free speech. Out at the Bundy Ranch, they said, no free speech in the county except for 2 little pins on the side of the road where there's no media. And people said, no, we're not doing that. Just like no free speech at Tiananmen Square. Let's go to your phone calls. The reason I raised that is Patrick says, I see he was arrested for chalking at City Hall in, I can't read that. Is that Gallatin, Tennessee? What happened to you, Patrick?
Yes, sir. Gallatin. Gallatin.
So what happened to you, thought criminal?
Well, I've been a fluoride activist for about 6 years, Alex, and at this point, I have brought it to the point where I can't get anyone to listen, even with your coverage. I can't get anybody to do any research. And if anything comes out of this phone call, if just 3 people, right, talk to their families about the fact that you can't get fluoride from a dentist to put in your bathtub. You can't get fluoride from your dentist to bathe in, to cook with, to wash your clothes.
That's right. It'd be like drinking sunscreen so you wouldn't get sunburned. The type of fluoride they give you is toxic, not calcium fluoride, but hydrofluorosilicic that literally eats your brain on record and is a forced medication. And so you went out and chalked and got arrested?
Yes, I went at 4:30 on April 18th. I went to the DA's office. I chalked fluoride is poison, fluoride is murder. I went to the city hall across the street. I chalked fluoride is poison, fluoride is murder. And I put it on their 20-foot flower pot, and they missed it. So they didn't clean it up, so all the Easter Sunday churchgoers got to see fluoride is poison, fluoride is murder.
And then they arrested you.
Well, for public intox on Friday night. And then Monday, when I went to get the name of all the officers, they arrested me for vandalism under 500 for having to clean up the chalk. And I kept my mouth shut, Alex. I didn't want to get...
Well, listen, you got to get a friend to videotape it, put it on YouTube, be viral, reach millions. We're going to beat them in the end. I mean, it's against the Geneva Convention to forcibly medicate people. And now a judge in Oregon ruled they can inoculate your kids without your authorization last week. This government is out of control.
Alex, if one thing you press to your listeners, and I love all of them, and I'm glad you say that, some thought you were crazy and they listened to you. I love that shit, those stuff.
We're going to let you go, brother. We're going to delay that out, okay? The one way to get hung up on here is to use profanity. Okay, let's go ahead now and go to another phone call. Let's go ahead and talk to Joe in Chicago. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, how you doing?
Good, sir. Go ahead.
I don't know. Yeah, that show, the lady with Donald Sterling, she recorded him because the family was suing her saying she embezzled $1.9 million and she was going to pay him back. But I don't know how this guy clearly said he didn't want her hanging out with blacks. He didn't say players. He said blacks.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I read the quotes in the newspaper. In fact, I've got them right here in the National Review, and I only listened to about a minute of it. I don't have time to take. So, I mean, if he said that, I think that's terrible. But what I'm saying is he's another elitist. My issue is I don't like people that secretly record people. So I don't know the whole story. I'm just saying the whole decadent NBA, the owners are decadent scum, in my opinion. Most of their, like Jerry Jones, gets $1.5 billion stadiums. I think he's decadent scum. The Ecclestone or whatever his name is, Ecclestone with the Formula One track. I don't care what color they are. I'm sick of the decadence of this whole thing, but I didn't hear the whole recording. What does he say?
He said he didn't want her hanging out with blacks. He was saying how blacks in Israel are treated 100% different from white Jews, black Jews in Israel. He said how they're treated like dogs. He was sued by the Justice Department for discriminating against blacks for renting in California. And the most important thing he said on that tape, this is an 80-year-old billionaire Jewish guy that said he lives in a culture. He said he lives in a culture where I guess they practice these things towards blacks.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I've got to be honest with you. I saw it on the news today, a short clip on ESPN. So I was flipping through the channels. I saw it. So I was going off the article I read because it was showing the quotes about, I don't want you hanging around with the players and blah, blah, blah. Are you saying the media is whitewashing it?
No, it's video. Yeah, the media is whitewashing. It's 15 minutes of audio recording out on the internet. You just Google it.
Okay.
He was saying he don't want her hanging with blacks. He specifically specified.
Well, that is an issue. I happen to know for a fact that it's against the law in Israel to marry someone that's Jewish if you're not Jewish. And then you've got the Israel lobby here being so politically correct, pushing stuff. So I do think that's strange. But you know what? I will look into it further. I don't usually follow sports. And so if I'm wrong about this, I was saying everybody's wrong. She's wrong, the players and him, because I hate the whole thing. But if he was saying that, the clip I saw on the news didn't have that. Wow. How long is the full clip?
Yeah, man. It's like 15 minutes. And this guy, I'm not a racist guy. I'm black. You see, black people can't discriminate that way. This guy has money and power where he can discriminate against a race. That's racism. That's a system.
No, the clip I saw online, I think the clip on InfoWars is like 2 minutes. And the clip I saw on TV was like 30 seconds. Wow. So he was saying stuff like we treat blacks different in Israel and stuff?
He said blacks in Israel are treated 50 or 100% different. They treated like dogs. He said this what he said about black Jews in Israel. That's what this guy said, 80-year-old guy. I think this guy probably meet with some
wow. Well, I didn't know that. So what I'll do is I'm gonna listen to the whole thing. Where did you find the whole thing?
I just Googled him, and this guy's name was Donald Tukowitz. That's his real name. That was he changed his name to Donald Sterling. This guy, I think this guy is a real interesting guy, man. And I really appreciate you taking I just typed it in Google, and it was another audio that came out.
No, well, I hear you. I'm just sick of people recording people secretly, but I'll look it up, and I will give you my real view on it tomorrow, because if I'm ignorant, I will find out more. It says President Obama alleged Donald Sterling remarks incredibly offensive, and then I was reading the quotes out of Politico, and I did not see that, but now I see why folks are so upset. But here's the deal. Can you imagine if a libertarian or a Republican or if Bundy had said this? Because here's the headline: racist Clippers owner Donald Sterling is a Democrat. And it does sound really, really bad, what you're saying. And I'll take your word on it. I stay out of sports, folks. I'm so sick of sports. Thank you, Joe. This is going to be a real circus now if he really said that. Philip in Florida, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. I just wanted to make a quick point about the Ukraine thing. I have friends that, when I tell them that we started this or NATO started it, they call me a conspiracy theorist, and I just, literally listening to C-SPAN for them would make their eyes bleed. So, it's just, I just point them to the legislation that went through Congress a week after Russia took over the Crimea, where they were going to bail out Western Ukraine, and there was like $51 billion in there for that. And then, they just have their set ways and they listen to certain things. And then,
no, that's right. Russia was going to bail out Ukraine instead of the EU, and then the Ukraine didn't vote to merge with them, so they took over. And it's just the facts. It's like Russia has attacked Ukraine, and it's not true. So let's just be honest about it. And now it could turn into a larger military conflict. And yeah, being informed is called being a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, and but they're stuck in their mainstream stuff. They don't stray outside of it.
I hear you. It takes a lot of research. I mean, there's so much going on. Nobody can be informed on all the subjects is the problem. Like, I don't know about this Donald Sterling thing. The other guy just informed me. I just went off what was in the news, and it turns out they're whitewashing it, basically, because it's much worse what he said. I don't have time to watch 15 minutes of this old guy or listen to it. I mean, come on, give me a break. I could barely understand what I heard. That's why we didn't play clips of it. Chris in Indiana, I'm sorry to others. I'm out of time. Chris, you're the last caller. Go ahead. Tell Gunner,
Alex,
Chris. Come on. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, Alex. Hey, I'm the kind of guy that's got surrender of Lord Cornwallis and Washington crossing the Delaware and Bennington flag on my work at Wall. Wall at work. Sorry.
That sounds terrorist. How many beers have you had?
Just 2.
Not quite enough, my friend. I'm joking. Hey, I'm out of time. Sorry to false start you. I'll be back tomorrow. Everybody on hold. Call me back 11 a.m. tomorrow. Central, 12 noon Eastern for the big weekday transmission. God bless you all. Great job with the crew. Pray for peace. Pray for justice. God bless you all.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the